throughout this process, my right-hand man has been in conversations with a production company who wanted me, yes, me, yours truly, to be in a film. And literally, I hang up the phone and I start dancing around. I start doing the Cabbage Patch. I even did the Carlton. So then I look over at my right-hand man and I say, hey, I guess we're gonna be in a movie.
Hi, my name is Vince Reed.
What's going on, guys? Vince Reed here, and welcome back to the DM. I'm having a lot of fun. You guys watching those recap shows, make sure you go check out the recap show. This season, I'm harder on Mike. I'm literally gonna log into his OnlyFans. We're gonna see all the guys he's flirting with, the girls he's flirting with. I told you, I'm ragging on him hard this season, y'all. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Let's go. All right, so we got the event, right? We're all excited. We gotta get this event cracking. We got all these people coming, but here's the deal. I have to make sure that they all show up. I know I sold out the event on one webinar, okay? I know that these individuals are coming to shoot the footage for the film at this event, but how do we make sure that they get to the event and they show up? But more importantly, how could I make sure that the event was profitable before the event even began? So I called my right-hand man in and we strategized. We said, here's the thing that we've noticed from all the events that we've had. We noticed that it's hard to fill the events, but we always end up filling them somehow, some way, and we realize that it's hard to make these events profitable. So to avoid the stress of trying to worry if these individuals were going to come in, I came up with a better offer. Since we had already individuals that had essentially committed to coming to the event, I said, what if I offered them a bonus day that started before the event even started? So basically, essentially, people could come the day before the event. I could work with them on some things and actually help them with their business, maybe even shoot some ads, and then they kind of would be warmed up and ready to go for the event, and then offer them an additional bonus day after the event so we could help them start executing and putting into play the things that they were learning at the event. I know, it was smart, right? So anyways, I send out the email, we have another webinar, and it's basically just the individuals that are committed to coming to the event. And at first we're like, okay, let's just offer this to like 15 people. Let's, make it, pretty affordable. Let's not go over the top. Let's just see if there's any interest. And immediately that sold out. So right off the bat, we were profitable, we paid for the event. Even if people didn't even complete the room block, we knew that we had the finances and the funding there. So I said, well, what if we just did it again and we doubled it and we allowed 30 people? Boom, that sold out, and now we were profitable before the event even began. And it was really cool because a lot of the individuals who committed to coming to the event now were really on the hook because they had paid an upfront investment to go VIP, and obviously to get all these additional features. Because what we did was we said, this is like the super VIP ticket. I'm gonna have lunch with you, and I just made it really cool. So this is just kind of a note to you if you plan on having events. Think about what you can offer that can make it a no-brainer, that can add value to the end users that are already coming. And what was crazy was we kept getting requests throughout the entire event of people that wanted to go VIP because they saw all the extra attention and all the cool things that they were getting. If you want to fund your event before the event even begins, consider having a separate webinar to all your buyers and offering them an upsell. So I show up to the event and it's so cool. Like, it's totally different from the first event. The first event, I think there was maybe 50 to 100 people. This event, it was close to 300 people. So it was really exciting. All of our top students were in town. And, I was blown away when the film crew came in with all of their stuff for the film. And now I knew that it was game time. Like, this was legit. Like, I was actually about to get my Denzel Washington on and be a movie star. Not quite a movie star, but literally seeing yourself on the big screen was now becoming a reality, and I was excited about it. So I remember they set up all of this equipment in the room, and they sat me down in kind of like this corner, and they started asking me questions. But one question just sticks out that I want to share with you. Because if I were watching this like you're watching this now, it would be a question that I would want to know if I were watching. So they asked me, when did I first know that I wanted to be an entrepreneur? And it kind of like made me kind of sit back in my chair a bit because, you know, to be honest, I never really thought of being an entrepreneur. You know, I saw my dad get up each and every day, put on a suit and tie, and go to work and work his butt off each and every day. So I grew up thinking I was just gonna have to work my way from the bottom to the top, you know, and just kind of do what he did. But there was a moment in my life in high school where I did think about it, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, like literally. We were basically driving home from school, and my best friend, who's actually now our company attorney, so it's pretty cool. But anyways, we were driving home, and one of our buddies was kind of giving him a hard time. He was saying, I'm a better athlete than you, I'm a better athlete than you, kind of like ragging on him. And my buddy, our attorney, my best friend, he isn't one to really be confrontational. He's kind of just laid back, but finally he's had enough, and he just looks at him. He's like, first of all, you're not, and second of all, who's going to be your boss? And I remember sitting in the back seat, and it didn't register until later on in life, but I just think about how powerful that was for him at that point in his life to already be thinking about, you know, that I'm going to be your boss, and to be thinking that big. And it was the first time in my life I actually thought, you know, maybe I'm not going to be a professional athlete. Maybe I can be someone's boss or own a company or a business. And I'm just fortunate to have friends like that were thinking that way at such an early age. So even though he's not necessarily my mentor, that was probably the most impactful thing that I ever heard at a young age that really sparks, I believe, where I am today. So I remember sharing that like in the film, and I was like, man, I hope they use that, because you know that's really powerful to people who kind of are brought up in such a way where they think one thing is going to get them over the top, and they're not thinking that, hey, you're a smart individual, okay, you don't have to have the thing that you think is gonna get you to the mountaintop be the thing, it could be something else. So we wrapped up that shoot, and I remember we were getting all ready to go down to the event, and you know, I remember my wife was there, and we were walking down. I remember this scene of our video guy at the time kind of shooting us going down the elevator, and it was just packed. There were so many people there, all of our top students were there, and I remember like seeing all of the signs with my picture on it and everything as we were walking down. I'm like, man, like this is legit, like you're having like legit events. Like my first one was kind of like the starter event, right? That was like, you know, just kind of getting you know, used to events. But this was the real deal. We had people coming in from everywhere. We had so many amazing speakers at this event. And I just remember standing outside, getting ready to go into the room and getting really, really emotional because, you know, all going back to, you know, my secret weapons library, learning all that information, and getting to the point where people are willing to fly across the country. I remember we had this lady that came from Japan. Like, it was wild. At this event, I knew that I had to deliver, and I was super excited. There is some light at the end of the tunnel for all of you guys that are struggling. If you've got a business and you've got dreams, and you know, I say it all the time, you just keep beating on the door and just keep getting back and you know, put the customers first and really have, you know, their best interests in mind and in heart. And you know, you have these moments that money can't give you, right? You can have a lot of money, that's short-lived, you're always gonna want more. So I hope you're getting value from these videos, and you remember one thing, that anything is possible as long as you continue to work hard, give value, and literally just keep beating on that door and never quit. So now it's time for me to go on stage and share really the big reveal that I always hint around at every single event. Every event I have, when I go on stage, I want to share some strategy, some tactic that's absolutely blowing people away. And during this time, Facebook fan pages was like the thing, right? And I had figured out a way to grow fan pages really quickly, but more importantly, how to convert these fans into leads and into buyers. In fact, I had 3 separate pages, well over like a couple 100,000 in terms of total subscribers or followers. So one page had multiple 100,000 followers, another one had over 50,000, another one had 30 or 40,000. I know today that might sound not like a lot, but back then it was crazy. But more importantly, I was converting these individuals into leads and into sales. And I like to kind of go on stage and share the tactic and the strategy first. And then what I do is I'll come back later in the event and I'll make an offer where I'll basically say, hey, you know, I'll show you guys how to execute and implement this into your business. So I remember I was, you know, walking off stage and I just shared this cool thing that was working for me, how I was generating leads and doing all this stuff. And I saw Russell in the audience and I walked over to him like, hey man, what'd you think? And he goes, I mean, I kind of get it, it was pretty cool, but I kind of don't get it. And it was kind of a brief conversation, but it just stuck in my head. I remember I was leaving, going into my room, and I'm like, man, like, if Russell didn't get it, then the audience probably didn't get it. So when I go to like make this offer, they're not gonna get it, they're not gonna want it, and it's gonna be a complete disaster. Because this entire event, like this entire big reveal, was all based on this offer. And if they didn't buy it and if they didn't want it, this whole event, this entire thing would be a complete disaster. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode. It's been a lot of fun, but do one thing. Click on that like button and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. I want to hear your feedback. And until the next one, I'll see you on the internet. Later.